before returning to India, I spoke to a couple of mentors of mine, and I realized I had a few months left in the US, and I wanted to use that time in a productive way, right? So one person, he recommended that why don't I learn how to program, become a software engineer, given that I was always interested in like building things, and I had this curiosity towards science. So he really told me about boot camps, like a full stack web development boot camp. And I shortly, enrolled in one, and I think that has been like a life-changing experience for me. So this was 3 months in New York, this place called the Flatiron School. I did the web development boot camp there. And yeah, like they essentially teach you. It's a three month full time program. They teach you how to do front end, back end, and DevOps web development. And at the end of it, you're left with a skill set which allows you to make apps that can be used by millions of people. At the time, like this was like a revelation for me. It was very hard for me to believe that how can somebody go from no coding experience to like just in few months building like full stack apps from scratch. So yeah, it was a great experience. I moved back to India. I knew that I wanted to be in tech. So I took a one-way flight to Bangalore, applied for a bunch of roles there, and actually ended up landing my dream job with this company called Quartic.ai. Do check them out. They're doing great work. So I got a role as a full stack software engineer over there, spent about 2 years over there, and did front end and back end development for them. Um, and then I left in April 2021 to start my own tech firm. Something that I had never envisioned, when I was graduating from UCLA that I would be doing. Yeah, and this app is called We Help. It's live, it's in production, so you can find it at wehelpgive.org. This app connects people with volunteering opportunities and helps them find NGOs where they can donate resources to. And I also did a bunch of COVID work through this app, helping underprivileged people get vaccinated. I made this oxygen supplier tool. We went through this oxygen crisis, and then this tool just helped a lot of people find oxygen through this app. And yeah, but recently, the next move I've made is that I went through a recent recruiting cycle, and I wanted to, get back into working with a full blown team. So I've actually accepted an offer with a company based in San Francisco. I can, definitely go into what that recruitment process was like. And this is especially for those who are looking for fully remote roles, as this one is, and who are also in the tech/startup space. I feel like one thing I did very differently in this recruiting process was like go through AngelList or like non-LinkedIn sources to look for this role and or these types of roles. So, but yeah, that's something about me. That's what I've been
Yeah.
up to for the last few years.
So I like the fact that you were able to go back to your root interest, which is to build things, build solutions, and then winged your way through and sort of invested so much time beyond your college curriculum eventually to totally switch to a different role. So tell me a little bit about the skills that you felt were definitely required as a full stack web dev, app dev sort of engineer. And did the course satisfy, or you had to also continue to learn new things?
Sure. So, what are the skills one needs to become a full stack web dev? Essentially some technologies for front end development. The most common ones are React.js, which is a framework built on JavaScript, and there's also Angular, Vue.js. These are some of the prominent ones in the market today. For backend development, you can use Ruby on Rails or Django. Django is a framework built on Python. Again, very common, very popular in the community. And pretty much it. Like once you start off with one of each of these technologies, you can really start to build apps. And of course, so the school is a big part of it. I think what Flatiron did was to put a formal structure around learning. Of course, whatever I know today, anybody can learn for free from their laptop or the phone that they're using to like watch this video or listen to this podcast, which is again like a revelation for me. But all these tools exist on the internet for free. Flatiron School, again, put a structure around it. Outside of the 3-month full-time program, you do need to put in a few hundred hours worth of self-learning and just practicing. And I think that's very common when it comes to technology. No engineer knows everything about programming. It's a constant learning process. So, yep, I think, but a bootcamp is a great place to start.
Okay, great. And the second part you said, we'll focus more on the getting these skills and then finding very interesting work, remote work, vying for jobs which other tech graduates would be also sort of applying for in the US. What do you think you need to do to land such interesting jobs that you've just recently been sort of awarded?
Mhm. So I think I was looking for two types of roles. One was product management, again, because I knew that I wanted to make business level decisions and product decisions as well, not just build out the solutions. So I would say if you want to go down the product management path, having experience in building a product, and this could be, when you start off as a software engineer, um, or basically any type of role that gives you some sort of ability to make ideas or suggestions to improve some aspect of a product. Right, so this could be anything from UX, UI designs. You're thinking of user journeys. You're a software engineer who's actually building out a product. So I think having that kind of a background definitely, puts you on the forefront of becoming a product manager. I think what helped me a lot was when I started WeHelp, I was like the only person on the team, right? Like I was making all the mock-ups, the designs, making a marketing plan, deciding who to target this app to. And I think all of those things lead towards the product management path. So those are some of the things that you can try to incorporate in your current role if you want to go down that path. And the other role that I was applying to was just a pure software engineering role. And for that, I would say, of course, you need to just know whatever technologies are required by this or the said company that you're applying to. A safe bet, like what's very prevalent in the market, is React.js, like I mentioned, Django, Ruby on Rails. And then we also have Node.js, which is a JavaScript-based backend platform. So just pick any of these names, dive into it first. I think if you're proficient at one or two of these technologies, going down the software engineering path is going to be fairly straightforward. Many job openings right now for these technologies. So, yep.
Yeah, so the other interesting part would be the multiple sort of sessions and interviews that you might have for a product management role that you landed. What is it like, or typically like, for recruitment or people who are applying for PM roles to sort of prepare for?
Sure. And actually, I went into the interview process without any prior knowledge of what a product interview is going to be. So for sure, I think it was very interesting. The way a product interview really works is I was asked, name a company that you really like, or name a product that you really like. So I remember saying Google Maps. Google Maps is something that I personally derive a ton of value from. Then once the interview starts there, the questions are really, targeted about how can you make Google Maps better. So one of the question was, what is a feature that you would want to add to Google Maps? And then a lot of questions about how are you going to test whether this feature is working or not working. So you should know about things like A/B testing, how to gather customer feedback, know your demographic, like who you're targeting this app to. And then questions like, what do you do once you realize this feature is not working as you expecting? Like, what if the feedback is not good? How do you mold the trajectory of this feature moving forward? So it's really about like putting yourself in the user's shoes, think about what you want this product to be, and really knowing your users as well, and just knowing the value that you want to add to the users' lives through this product. Again, think about yourself as the user and just come up with ideas to improve this product from like every possible angle.